Hi there, this is Ms. Wade. Today we're going to be going over the Analyze page for your science fair project. This is where you take a look at your data and decide the results of your experiment. So there are a couple different ways to do this depending on your experiment. So it's going to look different for everyone. So I'm going to go over a few different possible ways that you could do this. But to start, as always, we're going to look at the rubric. So if we look at the rubric, it says, for the Analyze page, all of the following is true. 1, you display your results in a table or graph, or you draw a picture showing the results with the variable changed versus without the variable changed. And 2, your table graph or your drawings are clearly labeled. So that's what you need to do to make sure you get full credit for the Analyze page. Okay, so if I'm looking at my experiment with the glow sticks, I am going to draw a picture to analyze my results. That's what fits with my project. A table or a graph might fit with your project better. So I'm going to start with the picture for my experiment, and then I'm going to go over some other examples that might be helpful for you if you need to do a table or a graph. So for my experiment, this is going to look very familiar. I'm going to have my 2 cups. With water. One is hot and one is cold. And I'm going to draw my glow sticks. And I'm going to show that my glow stick in hot water is very bright. And I'm going to show that the one in cold is not. That's my data from my experiment. Now I need to label everything. So I'm going to label the cup. I'm going to label the water. I'm going to, I've shown here that it's cold and hot, so I don't need to do any more with that. And then I need to label the glow sticks. And then for this one, I'm going to, underneath, I'm going to write brighter. Just in case the lines aren't showing that. That way when someone else looks at it, they can see, okay, this one is brighter than this one. And that's really all I need to do. A lot of you are going to find that drawing a picture is the best way for you to analyze your data. You're also going to find that it looks a lot like what you've already drawn, and that is okay also. So don't worry about that. Now, for those of you where a graph would be better for analyzing your data, there's a lot of different ways that you can show a graph. You could do a bar graph like this, a line graph. If you have a lot of different variables, this is a nice way to show, especially if you've tested something more than once. And then a circle graph like this. This is often used when you're doing surveys, and we're not doing surveys for our science fair experiment. So this might not fit for what you're doing, but if it does and you want to use it, that's just great. So I'm going to go over an example. This is the most common way to show your data for the kinds of experiments that we're doing. So I'm going to just show you one example for how you could use a bar graph to show or to analyze your data. So we get a new sheet. All right. So if you notice, there's a line here and a line here. Those are called axes. This is the x-axis and the y-axis. So I'm going to start by drawing that. Oop, throw my pencil. There we go. All right. Now let's say for my experiment, I had 2 cars and I had to measure how far each car rolled. If that was what I was doing, then I might want to put inches on my y-axis maybe by 5, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and here I'm going to put inches, car, rolled. Keep it as short as you can for your labels. And then here, let's say I did 2 different cars. Let's just keep it simple. So down here I might have car A and car B. And let's say car A rolled 10 inches. So I would go up to where the 10 is and kind of go over to draw my bar. Let's say car B rolled really far. It rolled 25 inches. So I would maybe even use a ruler, but you can estimate for this. And there's my bar for car B. So now by looking at this, I can tell that car B rolled farther than car A, and that's how I analyze my data using the graph. So nice and simple, don't make it too complicated. Again, our goal is to learn the process and have fun doing it. So we're excited to do another science fair project next year. If you have any questions at all, please contact your teacher, especially if you're not sure how to show or how to analyze your data, what kind of graph you should use, or if you should draw a picture. Your teacher will be more than happy to help. And that's all I have for this page. Good luck and have fun.